right, here we go. All righty, Mr. Dickerson. Thanks for joining me today. Obviously, my name is Ben. I'll be guiding you through this session. So we're here to test the usability of an NCAA Division II men's ranking site, which is the United Soccer Coaches Poll website. The goal of this is to understand how you interact with the website and identify specific areas that can be improved. We're going to be testing a specific website. Like I stated, there's no right or wrong answers, and your honest feedback will prove to be invaluable. Feel free to share your thoughts as you go. Session's going to take about 20 to 30 minutes. I'll ask you to complete a couple tasks while speaking out loud about what you're thinking and doing. This will help me understand your thought process as we go along. With your permission, we'll record the session to capture your interactions and comments. The recording will only be used through research purposes and won't be shared outside of the project team. Is that okay with you?
Yep, sounds good to me.
Let's begin. You have anything before we start? Any questions?
Nope, not at the moment.
All right, I got a couple for you. Can you tell me about your experience with soccer or any other sports websites that you view?
Yeah, I've actually viewed this one in the past. Typically find it pretty easy to find the rankings. Haven't had too much difficulty with that.
Okay. Do you use any other sports websites like ESPN or hopefully not FanDuel or anything like that? But
yeah, no, all that betting stuff's illegal. But I have used ESPN before. I use that. No, I use fantasy ESPN for fantasy football, but it's
for free fun fantasy football.
Yeah, for fun.
Absolutely.
Enjoy doing that.
Okay. So how often would you say you look up different sports rankings or team information on a weekly basis?
7 days a week.
Multiple times a day?
Yep. Gotta check in on my Penn State boys.
Okay, fair enough. And while you're doing that, what device do you typically use? Smartphone, laptop, tablet, all of the above?
Smartphone and laptop, mostly smartphone.
Fair enough. All righty, so let's hop into this. Assume you're going to be looking for an NCAA Division II men's ranking site. Not any in particular. Let's just say you're trying to find some rankings. Go ahead and navigate to a page that you think you would find this information on, and let me know when you're there.
All right. All right, I'm there.
Perfect. Good thing it didn't take a while. Was it easy to find these rankings? Did you find it difficult on a scale of 1 to 5? 5 being the most difficult.
Easy?
No, 5 being the most difficult.
I'm going to give it a 1 just because playing for Fort Hays, this was a frequent website. I used it a lot.
Fair enough. Anything confusing about trying to find this information at all?
Not really, nope.
Alrighty, it's a good start. So another hypothetical. Let's imagine you were trying to learn about the top 10 teams in NCAA Division II. Try to find some tables or something like that on these websites. I assume they're already there because you've got the websites pulled up. Do these tables that the rankings have, do they kind of meet your expectations of what you're looking for?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. And were you able to interpret the information displayed in the table very easily?
Yes.
Who's ranked where and stuff like that. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's say you're interested in identifying teams that have moved up and down in the rankings recently, or week to week. Let's say from first to second, second to third, etc. And grade them on their coaching staff and recent performances. Was this information easy to find? Like who's going up and down from week to week and stuff like that?
Week to week wise, I find it pretty easy because it will give you the previous rank and their current rank. Mm-hmm. And then I guess as far as coaching staff goes, that's probably a little more difficult.
Okay.
I really wanted to, I probably could find out, but
Fair enough. Is it
yeah.
easy to tell week to week as far as like who's moved up and down or out of the rankings and in the rankings?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, do you think there'd be anything that would make that task easier as far as determining who's moved up and out, up in the rankings, out of the rankings, etc.? Or is it again, is it quite easy to kind of determine week to week?
I think it's quite easy, honestly, to interpret it.
Okay, fair enough. So let's say you're interested in learning more about any specific team that's in these rankings. First off, how would you find additional information or any details like coaching staff or recent performances? Is it easy to get from those specific websites? Firstly, the United Soccer Coaches poll, and then secondly, the whatever other page that you have pulled up.
The NCAA one?
Yes, if that's the one you've got, yes. From said pages, and preferably starting with the United Soccer Coaches poll, how easy is it to find information about each team? Or would you have to go kind of on your own?
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably still rate that on either probably a 1 or a 2, just because I can easily find the team's name and just pull up another tab and on it just look up their university's men's soccer results, stuff like that, on a different page. I mean, are you talking about this current page?
Yes. Which side are you on?
Right now, I'm on the United Soccer one.
Yeah. Okay. So you'd say it's pretty easy. What about the NCAA site? Any difference, or is it about the same?
I imagine it's not too hard. I mean, I've used the United one a lot more for things like looking up D2 stuff, but I don't think I'd have really any difficulty doing it.
Okay, fair enough. So now let's imagine you're trying to access the same information that we were doing before, but on your smartphone. So now I'm going to have you pull up those websites on your smartphone and tell me how your experience differs in using that from your laptop. Is there like any size changes, any more difficulty trying to read or determine information? Any changes in location for links that you were using before, etc. And then again, start with the United Soccer Coaches website first, if you don't mind.
Okay. Yeah, so pulling up this one, it's fairly similar. Probably just a little more challenging just because it's harder to see everything, and you got to scroll more, I guess, to see what you could see on when you wouldn't have to scroll on a laptop, for example.
Yeah, because of a bigger screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Any layout changes or like things in different areas? Like you said, it's just a lot more scrolling up and down because of the screen size.
Up and down, and honestly, that's about it for me. Honestly, I still found and then the I guess the tables are a lot smaller, which could make it harder to read, but I mean, I still can understand them pretty good.
Okay. Do you think it's easier to understand the table because you've looked at it before and you're pretty well aware of what soccer rankings and results and what they look like? Basically,
Yeah,
would it be harder to tell for somebody that doesn't understand the table, what they're looking at, and result fixtures on that page?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it still kind of shows you on the phone in the win-loss tie category. That's the only spot where I could see possible confusion, just because of some of the layouts are the records in like an order of 12, 0, and 2, and then like in a straight line, and then the one below that, for example, is 2 lines. It's 16, 0, and 1, but the 0 and 1 is on the same line.
Okay, so the format's not identical throughout the webpage.
Yeah, so it's a little different, but
okay.
I mean, knowing sports and stuff and how this works, I still would have no problem with
issue.
that. But someone who doesn't maybe could be a little hard to understand at first.
Okay, fair enough. Is that it on that page on your mobile
Yeah.
phone? Is there anything else that's different?
Yeah, that's the only thing I can really
Okay. Let's
accept.
hop over to the NCAA site on your phone as well and test the compatibility. Do about the same thing, see if there's anything different from the desktop version. Is it a lot of scrolling again? Any format changes that you noticed right off the bat? Just break it all down.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's pretty similar, just scrolling.
Okay.
That's the only thing I'm really seeing.
Size changes, format changes, anything like that?
Little format change is a little different.
Okay.
It's actually, honestly, it might be a little easier because I'm pulling up there's like a sidebar that kind of pops up on this website where you can select what sport and what division, and it kind of pops. It's pretty much in the middle of my screen on my phone, and on the laptop it's off to the left, so it's honestly easier to find on my phone.
Okay, fair enough. So
Yeah.
it sounds like the mobile version is a lot easier on the NCAA site for your mobile device.
Yes.
Alrighty, last thing here. Now that you've kind of gone through and completed all these tasks for me, what are your overall thoughts on each site? Firstly, the NCAA or the United Soccer Coaches poll site. What did you like the most, firstly? What kind of frustrated you or you thought can kind of be improved upon? And then is there anything that you'd expect to find on that page that maybe wasn't available?
Yeah. So I guess my overall, I would say I'm with the United Soccer Coaches one. I'm satisfied with my experience on it. I find it pretty easy to find out the top 25, and even it shows you it'll give you the receiving votes, so teams right outside the top 25, which I think is pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. Yeah, I mean, it gives you the polls throughout the season on here, which I find it pretty. I like being able to look at that, just teams progressing through the season. Honestly, there's on the computer version, I guess, since I've just been here a lot, I don't know if I'm a little biased or whatever, but I don't really have any problems.
Okay. Anything that you'd expect to find on there that you maybe didn't?
Maybe, I guess I can see it's every 7 days, I guess, for the polls to come out, but I wish it kind of gave you somewhere, maybe, I guess, where you could, the exact timing of when the new rankings come out.
Okay.
Like maybe like a countdown or something.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Yeah, on the rankings page as far as when the next one comes out. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd find myself checking because I think it was every Tuesday or whatever, but for the rankings, but I was always checking every couple hours that day to see when the rankings came out.
Yeah,
and I guess it would be nice if I knew exactly when.
Fair enough. Anything else that you may change about the site? If you were to, what would it be?
So just what I just said about knowing the exact timeline of it coming out, and possibly the super region rankings as well on here.
The timing of when they drop as well, or?
Yeah, or I remember having to go to a different site when I was trying to find out the exact regional rankings for like when we found out we were like number 12. I don't think that was on here. It might have been, but I remember kind of struggling to find the super region rankings. I know I could find the national rankings, but as far as super region goes,
a lot tougher on there, or just later. Okay, fair enough. Now let's hop over to the NCAA site and we'll kind of do the same thing. Firstly, what did you like the most about it?
Probably say the organization format of it. I think it's pretty easy. I think NCAA does well on that to where I can pretty much I could see where I want to go, and the tabs make it pretty easy to find what I'm looking for. I don't really have I'm trying to think of anything that I think could improve. I mean, I think it's been solid for me so far.
Okay. Any frustrations that you may have had with it?
I mean, main thing, for NCAA, I've used March Madness a couple times. Trying to remember because I know they give you the live matchups sometimes. And I don't try to remember if I don't know. I've had like just connection errors with that before, but I don't know if that's just because of certain Wi-Fi or something. But I don't think that's the site. So
Okay.
honestly, nothing. Yeah.
Same thing. Anything you may, or that you were kind of hoping that was going to be on there that wasn't? Any expectations that weren't met?
I guess I could say the same as what I said for the United soccer one is just knowing the exact timeline of when things drop. I guess I only said that on the other one just because I was definitely, as far as D2 rankings go, I was more active on that site than this one, so I don't have as much feedback on this one as I did on the other one.
Yeah, just trying to figure out where we were week to week. Those were the days. And then last thing, if you could change one thing about the NCAA site, what would it be?
I mean, I guess to just reiterate what I said with the more of a timing on the knowing the exact time of when rankings drop.
No kidding. But the selection show was fun. We all knew when that was.
That was a lot of fun. I love how they do that. That's a plus, but yeah,
it absolutely was. Getting to do
shouldn't have
it
been
multiple times, multiple teams.
Yeah.
Multiple
No, that's
rounds.
nice.
Well, it was good while it lasted. Thanks for your time and feedback. It's been super helpful and stuff. If you have any additional thoughts or anything, let me know. Any questions before we wrapped up?
No, I think that was, I think it went well.
Perfect. All right. Thanks again, Bryce. Much appreciated.
Yeah, of course.
All righty.